Well, and actually, before we get started tonight, I was going to joke around a little bit because tonight was my pitching debut, but obviously it didn't happen. But I did want to show that I did bring actually the ball I've been practicing with, and I was all set. But instead of that, I thought, well, I'll bring it in, and maybe I would get somebody to autograph it for me tonight, if he's willing to. So, and some of the DUI task force, and that's what this is all about. Actually, this is Click It or Ticket week for law enforcement. And thanks for everybody being here today. And as we head into the Memorial Day weekend, it's Click It or Ticket campaign. Simple message to buckle up and save lives. Seatbelts remain one of the most effective safety features in your vehicle, but too many people still take the risk and they don't buckle up. Right now, about 50% of all fatal traffic crashes are unbuckled drivers, and that is so simple, just to buckle up and save your life. I can tell you from my career, from personal experience, you need to buckle up. I've been involved in a serious accident where nobody was, and I wish we had been. We teamed up with the Columbus Clippers, the Franklin County DUI Task Force, music artist Mecca Don, and the Franklin County Safe Communities to put together our new public service announcement. And just like in baseball, the fundamentals matter. And on the road, one of the most important fundamentals is hearing that click before you drive. Mecca and General Manager Tyler Parsons will talk a little more about that in the public service announcement. But first, I'd like to introduce Sergeant Jason Evans with our patrol division to talk more about safe driving during the summer months as we start our 100th deadliest days of summer, which is the time between Memorial Day weekend and Labor Day. Sergeant Evans.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Sheriff. Thank you, campaign organizers, and a big thanks to the participating law enforcement agencies. I'd like to take a moment to speak on the importance of wearing your safety belts and what law enforcement will be doing over the weekend to ensure that those who are out traveling are doing so safely. We're entering into a busy travel season, what we commonly refer to, and as the sheriff stated, the 100 deadliest days of summer. Memorial Day through Labor Day, due to the extra amount of traffic that's on our roadways and freeways. Unfortunately, that tends to be the time of year where fatalities from traffic incidents tend to occur. On this Memorial Day weekend, you will see more law enforcement on the roadways and freeways. In addition to the Sheriff's Office normal enforcement efforts, additional traffic units will be on our roadways. They will be patrolling, looking for speeders, reckless drivers, impaired drivers, and those who are not wearing their safety belts, which is required by state law. Under Ohio law, wearing a seatbelt is a secondary offense, meaning we will not pull you over just for not wearing your safety belt. However, if you are pulled over for any other primary offense, such as speeding, reckless operation of your vehicle, you can and will be cited for not wearing your safety belt. We encourage those who will be attending school graduation parties this weekend and other holiday events who choose to consume alcohol. We encourage you to consider using a designated driver or one of the numerous rideshare companies that are available. For those traveling this weekend, take your time getting to your destination. Adhere to posted speed limits. Ensure that all vehicle occupants are wearing their safety belts. Thank you. I'd like to introduce Ms. Anna Piper with the Franklin County Safe Communities with the Click It or Ticket campaign.
Thank you very much, and thank you all for being here to support our Click It or Ticket campaign. We celebrate this every year, but we want to remind people that when you hear Click It or Ticket, I think it's natural to assume it's just about writing citations, but Click It or Ticket is more than just traffic tickets. It's about saving lives. Every year, people in Ohio lose their lives in crashes that would have probably been survivable had they just worn that safety belt. It's why we join communities across the state and across the country to recognize the Click It or Ticket campaign. We want to remind people that one simple action that just takes a few moments can be the difference between walking away from a crash or suffering a life-changing injury or worse. Whether Ohio has a primary or secondary belt enforcement law, it doesn't change one important fact. Seatbelts are one of the most effective safety devices that has ever been created. Law enforcement is one component of this campaign, but it isn't the sole reason the campaign exists. The Click It or Ticket campaign exists because too many families have lost loved ones in crashes where a seatbelt would have made the difference. The goal isn't more citations, it's fewer funerals, fewer serious injuries, and fewer empty seats at dinner tables. In a crash, we want to remind people that you should wear a seatbelt no matter what seat you're sitting in, for every trip, every single time you're in the car. In a crash, even an unrestrained passenger can become a danger not just to themselves but to other people in the vehicle. Wearing a seatbelt isn't about expecting a crash to happen. It's just being prepared for what could happen. We know that the choices made for wearing a seatbelt or not, it's not just a personal one. Wearing your seatbelt or not, it affects your loved ones who might receive a call if the worst imaginable thing possible could happen to you. When first responders come to scenes where there are people who have died in crashes not wearing their safety belt, it affects them. It's going to affect your families, your coworkers, your friends, your schools, and your whole community. Choosing to wear a safety belt is the simplest way that we can take responsibility for our own safety and help protect people who care about us. So, today we just want to ask everyone to make a pledge. Pledge to wear your seatbelt every single time, every trip, every time, every seat. Pledge to make sure that your passengers in your vehicle are buckled up before your car is in drive. Pledge to encourage your friends, families, and loved ones to do the same. And as the Click It or Ticket campaign continues through the rest of the month, remember, the best reason to buckle up isn't to avoid a ticket. It's to make sure that you get home to the people who love you and are waiting for you to get back. With that, I am now honored to invite the Clippers anthem artist, Mecca Dawn, to speak.
Thank you for that. I'm so grateful to be here and be a steward of this message, the Buckle Up message, as you may have heard at Ohio State with my anthem, and now anthem Clip Clap with the Clippers. Grateful for all the partners here who are pushing this message. It might sound cliche in some ways, but it's very, very important. I remember being in high school, driving a U-Haul on 315 and hitting a deer, and I can only imagine what my life might have turned into had I not been wearing a seatbelt. I also have numerous friends and family who have been in accidents over the years who are thankfully all wearing seatbelts and had a much better outcome as a result. So this is something, as a father of 2 young kids, I teach every single day. We don't drive off until my kids have their seatbelts on. So it's not just a cliche, it's actually something that's very important and something that can save lives. So I'm grateful for all of the partnerships, and again, everybody here that is making sure that we put this message out into the community very seriously, and I hope you guys continue to take it seriously as well. Sheriff?
With that will conclude our news conference now. But remember the message when you go out and drive: click it or ticket, but it says just buckle up. That's going to save your life and the lives of so many others. And have a great Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe.
We just wanted to talk about what Sheriff's Office does the holiday weekend as far as enforcement, if we're going to help people out on the road, that kind of stuff.
For the holiday weekend, we have more people out on patrol, just out there for safety. And like the sergeant said, not wearing a seatbelt is not a primary offense. It is secondary. If you're involved in an accident, you probably will receive a citation for not wearing a seatbelt. not designed for punishment. It's designed as a reminder to wear it. But we always take extra enforcement action. I know the State Patrol does. Columbus, all law enforcement agencies want to pay attention this weekend to help people keep people safe. That's really what it's about.
That's the bottom line, right? People get home to their families and
Get
enjoy the holidays.
absolutely just go out, have a good time, enjoy yourselves, but get home safe. And that simple little buckling up and clicking that seat belt, it doesn't take much, but it can mean so much in saving the lives of yourself, your family, and others.
Becca, I know it's kind of a play on words with the buckle up, I guess. How does that make you feel that kind of your message is going to kind of maybe help people remember?
Yeah. Well, I think, starting with the song Buckle Up, when I originally wrote it, it had multiple meanings. One was obviously kind of buckle up, we're going for a ride, but it also was kind of a call to action in a lot of ways too. So I was so happy to create that original PSA, and now we're doing a Click It or Ticket campaign with Click Clap. So it's awesome to be able to use a platform that I have to be able to kind of effectuate these messages and push them out into the community, and be able to have great partners that are pushing these messages as well. It feels great, and that's the one thing I love about being a music artist, is that yes, you get to have fun and be on stage and so on and so forth, but you also get to be kind of a voice of certain messages. So it's been great.
What do you think when you see the PSAs there, and it's got your face up there?
Yeah.
Are you kind of proud of that? Like,
Yeah, I'm very proud of it, particularly because I grew up here in Columbus, Ohio, and born and raised, born at Riverside Hospital, and used to watch all of these campaigns and things like that on TV growing up. So to grow up many years later and to see myself be a part of it, it makes me feel proud. Not from like a pat on my back kind of standpoint, but just knowing that I'm doing something that's actually meaningful in the community that I grew up in, I think is great. Okay.